So there's a little bit of an unknown character out there in the world of video gaming. I don't know if you know him. Its name is Super Mario, and Super Mario has gone on to make a few games. He's been in some here and there. You might have heard of him. Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros. There's been a couple, and they're kind of all a little obscure. And for the most part, they're pretty good. They've sold a few copies. They might have helped, push a few systems. Might be more recognizable than a Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And maybe Mickey Mouse, maybe Mickey Mouse. But regardless, all this started from somewhere. And that somewhere was, well, it's actually Donkey Kong. But his first major video game debut for a home entertainment system was Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the Famicom, Fanicom, Faniconi, Fancaloop, a Fancantaloupe. So, back on that, it started off with like this nice little platformer. It wasn't the first platformer, but it's pretty good. You go kind of fast and you jump over things. Sometimes there's baddies in the way. You have to hit those to get them out of your way, or not, whichever works better for you. You might be able to get some power-ups. He's got a mushroom to get big, so he takes one less hit before he dies. Or if you go even further than that, you get a fire flower, which lets you go pew pew and shoot some fireballs and beat the baddies. All as you make your way to the end of the stage, where you get a flag, and you grab that flag and you slide down, and there's nice little music, and you go on to the next stage. It's a pretty fun time. It's really simple, but it works. So it did really well for itself, and Nintendo was like, let's do it again. Let's make more of this. Let's make more monies using what we did. So let's make a sequel. So they made Super Mario Bros. 2. No, the real Super Mario Bros. 2. There you go. So Super Mario Bros. 2, it kind of does the same thing. By kind of, I mean it's literally the same thing. You do the running, you do the jumpy, you got the mushroom, you get the flower, there's some baddies. It's all the same. It's all the same, except for this one mushroom, which makes you want to die. Because it makes you die. That's all that's new. That's it. I think there's also Luigi, and he's a bit slippery. He's not really fun to play as, because the game's already kind of slippery, and then you just kind of slide off and die, and it's awful. It's awful, and I hate it. But, I mean, new stages, right? But those are fun. I mean, the first game had a lot of stages, and this one has a lot of stages. So it's just more of the same, right? No, it isn't. It really isn't. So part of what makes the first game work really well is there's a difficulty curve, right? It starts off, it's pretty easy, and then the longer the game goes, the harder it gets, until you're making these really precise jumps, and you're doing some kind of hard platforming, and like there's a few things in the way, and by a few I mean these hammer bros who make all the hammers, so many hammers, and they just rain death. And I hate them. But you know what? It's fair, and you can get past it, and you can save the princess and get the big smooch. And it's good. It's good. In this game, the difficulty curve is continuing. It's not starting from fresh. It's not like, hey, it's a new game, let's start from low again and go high. It's, hey, I hope you played Super Mario Bros. 1, because we're starting from high, and then we're going higher. We're going off the screen. Here's my hand, and it's gone. It's gone. It's off the screen. It's just largely unfair. It assumes that you already beat the first one, and it's like, hey, remember all the hard things? Just start right from there. There's gonna be some invisible blocks. I hope you figured out those in the last one. They're not that plentiful there, but they are here. Warps. Yeah, if you use those, and you kind of expect to do the same thing here, I mean, you could, but what if we punish you? We punish you for knowing where those were and finding them here, and we just I don't know, drop you in a pit or just warp backwards. Just all sorts of terrible, cruel things. I mean, if you're into Kaizo, it's really Nintendo's sanctioned Mario Kaizo. Nightmare, edited, fuel, garbage. I hate it. It's hard. I'm bad at video games. Fight me. But this isn't good. And they recognize it's not good. Because this never left Japan until years later. And they didn't call it Super Mario Bros. 2 when it got over here in the United States of America. The only place that's truly canon. They called it Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, which I think is really... Yeah, no, that's accurate. It's really just the same game, but, you know, extra levels. So they are willing to be like, yeah, no, that's what it is. I mean, here in the States, we got a different Super Mario Bros. 2. We got Super Mario Bros. US, which is just Doki Doki Panic. But, you know, it's not really a Super Mario Bros. Game. It's similar, but, Mario is there, but, is it the same? It's not really a sequel. Because we're about to talk what sequels is. Hey guys, you know what sequels are? So, I looked around on the internet, I found some ideas. There's no like concrete definition of what makes a good sequel. But the general consensus and what I kind of put together, I kind of equated and did some science, and there's like a ball, it's a Rasengan, it's like a Rasengan sequel going on right here. Is that a good sequel takes what the original did well, and then just builds on top of it. So, what do I mean by this? We could look at what Super Mario Bros. 2 didn't do first. So, it took what worked in the first game, right? It took literally everything. So, and then but it didn't do anything. It's just still here. Except for that stupid mushroom. But that kind of brings it down here. Stupid death mushroom, I hate it. How did they do this later? What did they do? How did they learn? Well, they eventually made Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros. 3 took what made Super Mario Bros. Work in the first place, the running and jumping, the power-ups and the enemies, and we gotta go fast because there's a timer. If you don't get there before the timer ends, you die. And it builds on it. They added more power-ups, different ways to play. They added more enemies that you have to interact with in different ways. So it took what works from the first one and just, you know, did more. Like, in a meaningful way that changes the way you play the game, but without losing that Super Mario Bros. Feel that Super Mario Bros. 2 US, for example, didn't have. But how did Nintendo take this forward? Super well. So Super Mario World later came out with Super Nintendo. It added the Yoshi. It added the flying cape, kind of building off the Tanuki. It added all sorts of Yoshis, actually. There's even more other colorful Yoshis, too. Then there's Super Mario 64, which took the game and threw it into a 3D. And in the 3D, it's like, hey, we're still jumping and the running and power-ups, but now you have to also collect the stars and whatnot. And you have to, you know, obviously interact with a three-dimensional world. It's a bit different. And then off of that, there was Sunshine, which they added the jetpack thing, the Floody Boy. And then in Galaxy, we added all sorts of other power-ups and the spinny thing. But, you know, the thing Mario does when he spinnies. And the gravity, there's gravity in that game. And then in Odyssey, they added the hat, and everything just builds on top of it. And that is what a sequel should be. It should be keeping the same spirit as the original while doing more in meaningful ways. But it all started with just those 3 games, just Super Mario Bros., Lost Levels, and Super Mario Bros. 3. And that's all it took for Nintendo to learn how to make a good sequel in the Mario franchise. I don't know about elsewhere. Hey, so thank you so much for sticking it to the end. If you want to see more of me, you should probably go ahead and subscribe and click the bell to that youtube.com. If you want to see me play the video games live, I'm over here at twitch.tv/Samantha. And if you want to see what kind of nonsense fills my headspace, and that I feel the need to spew onto the internet for everyone to shame, go here to twitter.com/SlamanthaPlays. I have a lot of cool ideas planned out ahead, and I hope that you'll see them as I put them out. Bye for now. Oh, hey, it's me, the post-edit Saurus. The dinosaur that sounds remarkably like Samantha, but it's not. I swear, really not her. So my job is to come in after she finishes recording and at the end of editing when she realizes she made a couple mistakes. So you don't have to call her out on it unless you didn't watch the entire video and you do it anyway. But can't do anything about that. So she made a couple mistakes or omissions. One was that Super Mario Bros. Itself is kind of a little bit of a sequel regarding the Super Mario, not the Super, just the Mario Bros, just the regular Mario Bros, but it's different enough where it's more like a successor. I don't know, it'd be like saying that Mario Kart's a sequel to Super Mario Bros. It's not really. And then she kind of failed to mention the fact that the thing that's most defining in a platformer is the motion, the movement, and the player's ability to do movements. So that's a thing. Yeah, no. So pretty much every time she talked about power-ups, she was talking about the player being given new ways of movement. Pretty important stuff there. Oh, and she also forgot to say how there is a wind obstacle kind of thing in Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels, and that's another reason that game kind of stinks. It's not really a fun thing. It's just another added annoying difficulty in an already slippery game. Okay, that's it. Rah!